Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger steaks. This is beef country, Texas, home to the Alamo, the Cowboys, and the largest military installation known to man. So big, it has a big name. Fort Hood, the great place. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here, Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
I go with the flamboyant pink. That's nice.
Oh, I bet that looks really good. I like to do like a matte pink that has glitter in it.
Yeah.
That I feel like it makes my eyes pop, even without primer. So it's really good.
So we're talking eyeshadow.
Yeah. Do you know what primer is, Dave?
Not a clue. I know what it is on the wall at my house,
Yes.
Yeah, I got red on the wall and I want to make it white.
Yeah.
So you got to prime the wall.
Yeah, it's kind of the similar idea as where you wear a baseline that when you put on your regular eyeshadow, it'll make the colors come out more, so it's brighter.
You're kind of wearing light blue, teal, something.
Yes.
And she's not in uniform, guys.
I'm not. I'm on recovery.
You're on recovery. Mm-hmm. Why are you on recovery?
I had staff duty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So you've been up.
That's why you got the red eye going on.
Yeah.
She hasn't slept.
I did get 2 50-minute naps in, and they were great.
Oh,
so,
well,
but I'm not too tired actually. So.
Thanks for making it in.
Of course, no problem. I have so much to do anyway. I would be doing other stuff if I wasn't doing this.
So, the holidays. All right, you grew up where?
I grew
Melissa.
up in California.
In California, and you grew up where?
Texas.
In Texas. All right, so I grew up in Wisconsin, and the holidays. The weather changes, all the leaves fall off. And by this time, chances are we had snow on the ground, even if it's not there anymore.
Probably
Maine
sooner.
would be like that.
Yes.
Okay, so here in Texas, Brianna, we really don't get that. I mean, I remember my first Christmas day when I came here from Europe back in the day. It was 2002, right? I was grilling in the backyard. Right, I fired up the grill, and that fired up the Weber
On Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day,
Yeah, we would go to the park.
Yeah, yeah,
It
wearing
was so
shorts,
warm.
flip flops, and a t-shirt.
So just for clarification, I grew up in Maine or in California, but I claim Maine as residency because I've been there for a very,
I
very
remember
long
you
time.
mentioned that
Right.
about your voting.
Right.
So really, there's
Holidays
no
in
snow
Maine.
on the ground for Christmas.
No,
Yeah, none of us
not
have
all
the
the
snow.
time. It might
that far north
snow-
you don't get snow.
It might snow for Thanksgiving, but it doesn't stick until later in the year.
Right. Yeah.
It never snowed where I was from.
Milwaukee, you get the lake effect, Lake Michigan. You get
Right.
a lot of snow, and when
I
it
like that
snows,
lake
it
effect snow.
really snows.
Yeah. No
But
thanks. I'll
Talking
hard pass.
about holidays, here at Fort Hood, they become officially here when they open Nature and Lights.
Right.
Right, Belton
Yes.
Lake Outdoor Recreation Area. It is open now,
Yes.
and I want to know: have you been?
No, I haven't been.
You need to take the kids. It's
I
kind of
know.
cool.
We might do it this year. Probably guaranteed that we're going to do it this year because my kids love looking at the light displays
Bright
around
lights,
the
bright
neighborhood.
lights.
And last year we took them walking around the neighborhood just to go see the lights. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, it's
Yeah.
exciting. So
I do that too.
we'll
Worth
definitely
your
take
time.
them to the
Brianna,
nature
have you been?
lights.
I haven't been to the Nature Lights, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of bah humbugs in here. The wife took the kid. Well, I was deployed a lot when I was with the first team, and that was their thing to do when Dad wasn't around. So I actually never went because
But you knew all about
knew
it.
all about it and all that stuff. Yeah. So anyway, that is going on nightly from now until January 3rd.
Awesome.
And you can find all about it. It's in the Sentinel. It's all over the place. MWR's website. Check it out. But, okay. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, too, isn't it?
Yes. Right next week.
I'm excited.
Oh, so excited.
Yay.
Melissa, you're cooking, right?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
cooking.
What's
Although
on the menu?
we will not be cooking a turkey this year because I've already cooked a few full birds a couple times this year.
Okay.
So
A
we're
little
just gonna
different.
do a ham, a honey glazed ham with pineapples on it. and
Okay.
cloves.
Ooh.
And all the original Thanksgiving.
You're not going to do stuffing with ham.
Yes, because my
What?
oldest son loves stuffing, so I have to make the stuffing.
So you do stuff the ham?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then we'll probably do some green bean casserole. My husband likes it when I make pumpkin pie cheesecake, so I'm gonna make some of that.
Oh my gosh.
So yummy.
Sounds so good.
So I take it you are not inviting a household full over?
I might invite some of the single soldiers in my section.
You're going to
So
keep it
good.
under 10 though, right?
Right. Whenever I make big meals, I always send an invite out there just in case they want to show up. They never do, but just in case.
What about you, girl?
Me, I normally go to my older sister's house, so she will normally host it.
Right.
But this year, we're not really sure what we're going to do because she's getting ready to deploy.
Oh, boy.
So I threw out the invitation that they could come to my house.
You're going to cook?
I'm not very good cook though. That's what I'm nervous about.
It's okay. You
No
got to
one
start
ever want
somewhere,
to come
right?
back. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure they will be nicer on me because they're family.
You know,
but
when you do become that old married lady,
yes,
you know,
I do want to. That's one skill I'm really sad I haven't really honed very well is cooking, because I essentially grew up in the barracks. Right.
Right.
This is my first time not living in a barracks. I live
Right.
in a little duplex now, and it's the first time I've had an oven and a kitchen.
Right.
So I'm so behind on my knowledge of things.
Experiment.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Really?
Experiment.
Yeah.
And the key to a good cook is all those mistakes you made over the years, and you always eat your mistakes.
I thought you said it was. I thought you were going to say love was the key.
No, you're gonna mess things up.
Okay.
So you experiment, you practice,
That's
and you go, all
true.
right, give this a shot, give that a shot.
Yeah, I'll have to post that quote on the front door that says, "In order for you to be good at something, you must be willing to be bad at it first, and then hopefully they won't be so mad at me.
Exactly.
Eat everything."
So we will be talking more Thanksgiving and food and all that stuff. But before we get there, the show dropped right after Veterans Day last week, and just prior to Veterans Day, November 10th, the eve of Veterans Day, Fort Hood, the commanding general, announced they were going to name a memorial gate after Specialist Vanessa Guillen.
That's great.
And the family was invited here on the 10th, and they held a press conference out in front of the post, the main gate, and I was there. And so in our next segment, we're actually going to be talking to 3 Corps Public Affairs Officer and Senior Spokesman, Colonel Myles Caggins III, and listen to some of that press conference and talk about a memorial gate. And we'll do that right after this.
Let your voice be heard at BOSS.
What's BOSS?
BOSS stands for Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers and serves the single service member community, active, guard, and reserve, as well as single parents, geographical bachelors, all U.S. military service branches, and foreign service members assigned to the installation. The BOSS program is based on quality of life, community service, and recreation and leisure. As a member of BOSS, have a voice in how you live, how you spend your leisure time, and how you support the community around you. BOSS membership and the program's available leadership and project management roles also will enhance your promotion package. For more information about how you can become a BOSS member, visit our website at hood.armymwr.com.
It's what your tax dollars sound like. Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Joining me now is Colonel Myles Caggins III. He's the 3 Corps Public Affairs Officer and Senior Spokesman. Sir, thanks for coming in.
Hey, it's great to be on the Fort Hood Great Big Podcast.
Yes,
and,
it is.
You know, the brainchild behind this is our colleague Charlie Mabe, and if he's out there listening, he's headed off to Japan for a new assignment, and we want people to grow from their experiences here, and I think he's set up something good, and I'm happy to finally get a chance to talk to our audience today about an important topic.
Absolutely. Well, let's kind of set it up here. Specialist Vanessa Guillen, she was murdered April 22nd. Remains were found near the Leon River, some 25 miles from here. On July 6th, Fort Hood announced the remains had been positively identified as Vanessa's. But in those 2.5 months when Vanessa Guillen could not be found, there was a lot of anger and frustration, especially from the Guillen family and the general public on social media. At the time, you were serving in Iraq, as was 3 Corps and Fort Hood Commanding General Lieutenant General Pat White. He invited the Guillen family back to Fort Hood on the eve of Veterans Day. Tell me about how that came about.
Yeah, General White and the leadership here at 3 Corps and Fort Hood have been taking a really, really close look at how we can make things better and how we can improve the culture here to where we have trusted teams of soldiers who feel confident bringing any problem that they may have to their leaders, and leaders who know their soldiers, who are able to read and pick up on anything that may be amiss in their behavior. The leadership here has had continual communication with the Guillen family throughout the summer. And as we've been looking toward the future, we wanted to make sure that we honored Specialist Guillen, who was a member of our team, a member of our family, and for some of us who are seniors, old enough to be our child in service. Of course, you know, we're outraged by any of this that's happened, but we want her life, as Lieutenant General White said, to be a catalyst for change. And that change is already happening in a couple of ways that are visible for our soldiers, and we'd like the listeners in the community to know what we're doing to take care of our troops and ensure we have the very best Army that we deploy around the world and within the continental United States to continue our great legacy of success since 1776.
The family held a press conference right after visiting the gate that's going to be named in her memory on Rancer Avenue, and their message was conciliatory. Here's Attorney Natalie Kwong.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. We had a very good, strong meeting with General Richardson and General White this afternoon. They were very pleasant, very compassionate. This was our first time meeting with General White. He got to meet with the family, and he displayed his, not just his sympathy, but his emotions when he heard what happened while he was overseas in Iraq. He told us it was very troubling, told us how it was really hard for him because he has daughters and granddaughters, and how they would discuss this with him. That meant a lot to us to hear about their personal situations, their lives, how it impacted not just the military, but like you and I, everyone at home. Everyone has a family, and no one should ever lose their daughter, especially to a heinous crime. And today, with this new command, with General Richardson, he has continued to show us the efforts that they are making, the great strides that they're taking to make sure that this never happens again. This command sincerely wants to change the climate at Fort Hood. And I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Everyone appreciates that, because these are our brothers and sisters that are serving our country, and they too deserve to be protected. Changing policy, changing command, changing the climate are great first steps. It always takes one step to move forward. And I've seen many, many great steps here. Today they told us that they are going to be naming the gate after Vanessa. I'll tell you why that's really important. Because ownership is the first way to cure something, to resolve something, to fix something. When you own it is when you can change it, when you identify the problem. They could have easily said, we don't want this out there. We don't want to be known for this blood stain. But rather it's the opposite. They didn't try to sweep it under the rug. They put it right visibly, right in front of the gate of the base. So every day they have to remember Vanessa. They have to remember what happened here, so it never happens again. This is how our military should be, and I'm starting to see it take place. We're going to continue striving to make changes, but we're working together. We are working together, because you have to forgive eventually. You don't have to forget, but you have to forgive. And working together is the best way. As Gloria Guillen told the generals today, she prays to God and talking to God, and God coming into our homes, into our lives, into our hearts. And what does God say? God says forgive, right? We have to forgive, and we have to work together, because all these soldiers, they deserve a voice. They deserve protections. And we're so proud of the hard work that we put into this, to see it actually coming to fruition. To know that there are so many soldiers that are looking over and saying, this is happening, it's changing, it's working.
Vanessa's sister Myra also spoke, grateful for the Memorial Gate gesture.
This memorial that's going to be done in order to honor Vanessa means a lot to us. It means that they listened. This new command did listen to us, and they do question us detail by detail as to what we expect or what we need, or what. Just they paid attention, and it means a lot.
The family is still hoping to know more about how Vanessa came to her untimely end, but are pleased that her memory will live on here at Fort Hood. Colonel Caggins, the hashtag shut down Fort Hood was trending while you and General White were serving in Iraq this summer. Have we turned the page?
We know that there are areas where we could improve how we're doing business, and making sure that we're always putting people first. People are more valuable than machines. People are more valuable than readiness rates. And everyone who the Army has recruited and has been assigned here to Fort Hood is important.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't important, we wouldn't be authorized the 38,000 soldiers who we have here. Specialist Guillen was one of those 38,000, and she is a reflection of really the best of America, a young person who volunteered, took an oath to serve our country proudly, and is obviously is an example to her family, her community in Houston, and around the world. Mm-hmm. While we were deployed in Iraq, we recognized that Vanessa's life had taken on a life of its own and was amplified by many voices who want to ensure that our soldiers are cared for. And that's why the commander and command sergeant major have launched a People First initiative. Already we have implemented visible changes. Let me give you an example. Squad leaders, those sergeants, staff sergeants who have a team of 6 to 10 to 12 troops, have taken time, have been given time by the commanding general to spend with their soldiers, to go through counseling processes. The counseling processes sometimes are very basic things of what's your full name, what is your birthday, what is your spouse's name, Who are your parents? What is your parents' phone number?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's gone a step further. Now that I have your parents' phone number, let's give them a call so I can let them know that if they ever have any concerns, they can call me. But
Right.
more importantly, I want to get to know more of who you are and where you come from.
Mm-hmm.
The squad leaders, the first sergeants, the captains, and lieutenants now have a better idea of who's in their formation. And for the lead, they know that the leaders have taken interest in them. The conversations that have been created through this People First program have been dynamic. And I'll be the first one to tell you, when you learn more about the people who you're working with, you start to treat them more like humans with the type of dignity and respect, the golden rule
Sure.
that we would all want and have learned about in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
And that builds trust. And when leaders know their soldiers and when soldiers know that their leaders trust them, the morale goes up, retention rates go up, and those cohesive teams are more effective on the battlefield. And that's what we're really getting after. I'd like to take a moment just to talk about this gate naming.
Sure.
The gate that was selected is currently an unnamed gate.
Mm-hmm.
And the commander knew that before a final decision was made on the naming of a gate after Vanessa and the design of the gate, that we wanted the direct input of her family.
Right.
So he invited them here. They met in his office for what was supposed to be a few minutes. It ended up being nearly an hour or two to talk through a number of different topics. And,
Sure.
and it was a candid conversation. But what happened afterwards, when we went to visit the site and the commander personally walked them through the site and the design of the site, getting concurrence, the full buy-in, the acceptance and support of Vanessa's family was supremely important for the commander and command sergeant major.
Mm-hmm.
This is a formal process. There is a formal staffing process with a board that determined naming a gate after her would be suitable by a number of different formal measures.
Mm-hmm.
And the implementation, the redesign of the gate, the naming, that will take a few months from now.
I was going to ask you, what's the ballpark for a ribbon cutting or the ceremony?
Well, it looks like it'll be early in 2021. And in 2021, where 3 Corps is going, what the command team is focused on is the future.
Mm-hmm.
The future in ensuring that we get back to the basics, building trusted teams, certifying our leaders, and then focusing on the individual and collective training that makes the Corps and Corps units so capable. Right now, the Corps has soldiers deployed in Afghanistan, Iraq, and assisting the homeland in a number of different ways. In the past 12 months, we've participated in security along the southwest border, responded to the coronavirus pandemic, and still stand ready to answer the nation's calls. But we want the nation to know that they can absolutely continue to trust and send their young people into the Army
Mm-hmm.
and have them come to Fort Hood, the great place.
All right. Anything you want to add, sir?
Just want to add that throughout this People First campaign,
Mm-hmm.
we're asking soldiers to share their experiences, family members to share what they see using hashtag People First on social media,
Right.
on Instagram, on Twitter and Facebook. And we'll try to bring those posts forward into the Fort Hood official pages
Mm-hmm.
because the story is best told by the people at the bottom. And the commander and command sergeant major have made it very clear that this bottom-up feedback is important. And again, we're all in the same team together in one family. We want to be the best location possible for soldiers to serve. And we want the surrounding community to know that the investments that they make here are all having dividends, and that our most precious resource, the young men and women from all across America, some who are not even citizens, who raise their hand and wear the cloth of their nation, will be taken care of. And personally, on a personal note, I've served here for 5 years of my career,
Mm-hmm.
and this is an outstanding place to serve where you can train and do those Army things that most of us signed up for.
Right.
It will continue that way into the future.
Well, sir, thank you for your time and for coming by. And we will be back with Melissa and Brianna talking some Thanksgiving preparations right after this.
Midnight. The perfect time for a sneaky snack while everyone's asleep. This and a little bit of that.
Say, Phil.
Ye God, you frightened me. How did you get in my house?
Silly Phil, it's me.
Elf? Elf on our shelf?
That's right, Phil. I see everything, including you not practicing good cybersecurity. So I got all your passwords and stole your identity, and now this is my house, Phil. My house. You go sit on a shelf, Phil.
This holiday season, it's more important than ever to practice good cybersecurity. After all, you never know who's watching.
Ask any elf, and they'll tell you where the real magic is. It's when their eyes light up when they see the spirit of the season. Explore the winter wonderland of nature and lights at the Belton Lake Outdoor Recreation Area. Load up the family and come out to see the wonder of over 5 miles of holiday light displays and more. Make time to make memories this year and share the tradition. Nature and lights. Share the magic.
Fort Hood's great big podcast. Factual, fantastical, frilly, and fun. Who writes this crap?
And we are back from our break.
Yes.
Getting ready to talk about my favorite thing, which is food.
Oh, Mian.
Yes.
I feel like that's everyone's favorite.
My favorite time of year right now. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get hungry just talking about it.
I know. I should have brought some food in today.
I know.
Or snack during the break.
So we brought in a unicorn into the office.
Unicorn?
Yes.
Oh, man.
So I've only seen, this is my second Chief Warrant Officer 5 that I've seen. But we brought in CW5, Brock Sanders, 3-Corps Senior Command Food Advisor.
Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Happy to be here. Really am happy to be here to promote Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity for our soldiers, our 92 Golfs, and their family here. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. So, but we'll get more into that as we begin to talk about it. So,
we also brought in Sergeant First Class Luz Simmons, Theodore Roosevelt Dining Facility Manager from the 3rd Cavalry Regiment.
Yes, I'm so happy for the invitation and be part of the Thanksgiving crew and all 92 Golf on post.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for being here.
So, Chief.
Yes, I'm ready.
Tell me all about the Thanksgiving preparations that we are going to be seeing and the awesome competition between the DFACs.
Wow, thank you very much. I'll tell you what, I've been in the Army for 30 years, right? And I've done many Thanksgiving competitions and been around for a long time. It's been wonderful. This year is a little bit more trickier, I guess you can say, with COVID-19. So,
yes,
but still we're going to make sure that the soldiers and the family members are going to have a wonderful time at all our dining facilities. So it's going to be a really wonderful opportunity. So it's going to be great. I just want to make sure that everyone understands the 24th of November, between 11 and 1500 or 11 to 3 o'clock would be our actual Thanksgiving Day holiday we'll present here on Fort Hood. And also, we're going to also have a similar meal on the 26th of November, which is actually Thanksgiving Day. So we'll do the same thing again. It will be similar to the 24th of November, but just make sure from 11 to 1500 on the 24th of November, that will be our primary Thanksgiving Day and our primary Thanksgiving Day competition.
Awesome.
Wow. So what does that look like?
Wow, it's going to be unbelievable, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, we're talking about cornucopias, all different type of cakes, all different type of food. It is wonderful. But I'm not the one to take Sergeant Simmons' thunder, but I know she probably want to mention a lot of the food items that we're going to have at the dining facility. So I'll turn it over to her and have her speak on it.
Okay, one of the favorite food in here on post for every soldiers and is around is the turkey. You know, we cannot have Thanksgiving without turkey.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
we're
like
gonna
the
have
main staple.
turkey and ham. You know, everybody gonna look for a turkey and ham.
Yes.
So we have pumpkin pie. We have hot glazed potato, green beans, roasted Brussels sprout. We have more than that. Not only the soldiers go over there just to see the food, just to eat. They just look for decoration as well.
Yeah.
So that's what we always excited for Thanksgiving. Like even is maybe we start the year and we already thinking in what I'm gonna do for Thanksgiving. As a defect manager, that's the first thing that I thought. Like, damn, I'm gonna be a defect manager, so I gotta look what I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
What I gotta do for Thanksgiving.
So how early do you have to start preparing for this?
Maybe like I say, maybe six months.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Such a big
So
such
we-
a big event too.
We work with whatever we have.
Wow. So how many pounds of turkey does it take to feed Fort Hood soldiers on post, would you say?
Wow. Well, you better understand. 'Cause we didn't think about it a second. We're not just talking about one dining facility. You're talking about over 6 dining facilities
Yes.
that orders these turkeys. So we talk about the preparation for Thanksgiving, what we do early in the year. We start around June, July timeframe, honestly.
My goodness.
And the reason
For
we
the
do that
ordering.
because there's the ordering process and there's
Yes.
a timeline to get these particular products in because understand during Thanksgiving, it's a competing demand
Yes.
for products, right?
Of course.
And not only talking about Fort Hood, Texas, but you're talking about all the other units, all the other bases that are here and the ones that's overseas. So we all competing for the same resources. So it takes a while, but I tell you, it's a very dynamic logistical challenge from time to time.
I'm
don't get me
sure.
wrong. But it's wonderful. You know, I love the part of it when everything comes together. And all displays come together because at the end of the day, it's about family and friendship and networking amongst one another. So it's wonderful. It's really great.
Wow. That's great. I love going around a table and being with your friends and family. Like you said, I feel like it is the most important part. But of course, the food is what brings everybody together.
Yes.
Well, the food is, you're right, the food is phenomenal, but also,
Yes.
you know, during Thanksgiving time, it's about family. So as you know, the leadership will be in the dining facility serving those days as well. So it will be wonderful. But I just want to make sure that under COVID-19, we have to stay within the restrictions of restaurant restrictions in the state of Texas. So some of our defects will be only allowing 8 personnel to be serving online, and that's about because of social distancing.
So the lines will be moving a little slower.
Yeah, they'll probably be moving a little bit slower this
Okay.
year because we want to make sure we take care of our customers, but we also want to
Yes.
promote safety as well.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that it be a wonderful Thanksgiving, but we also want to make sure we practice the safety measures as well for our customers and our service members.
Yes.
So, from what I understand, each year there is a theme for the Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to know the theme this year?
Well, yes. Actually, this year's theme is traditional Thanksgiving. And the reason we're doing that now because within the years, we've got away from the traditional Thanksgiving. We started doing other things with other themes that had nothing to do with Thanksgiving. And we recognize we want to try to bring that back.
Okay.
You know, part of our history, you bring it back. So each dining facility this year on Fort Hood will be doing a traditional Thanksgiving theme. It's going to be a twist in every dining facility. It's not going to be exactly the same because there are different type of cornucopias, different type of cakes, different type of pastries, but it'll be representative of that particular dining facility. So it's going to be wonderful. But I also want to give out a shout out to our North Fort Hood dining facility as well, which is a contracted dining facility. They'll also be open on the 24th, but their actual meal will be on the 26th.
Okay.
But they will have the item displayed on the 24th. But I just want to make sure that we also recognize them because they serve just as well as we do.
So what kind of items will be on display?
Wow. So you name it, like cornucopias. We
Oh,
have
okay,
cakes
yeah.
displays. You have pie displays. A little of everything that's out there. It's going to be wonderful. I want to make sure you guys come and support us as well, your teams.
Yes, I usually will see like a huge cake and it just looks massive. Sergeant Simmons, are you part of the teams that part of the team that works on the items like that?
Yes, right now I don't have like a really big group of soldiers working because we have like missions back and forth.
Yes.
But I had like a group of 7 soldiers doing pastry, doing all the decorations, everything like from scratch, starting from scratch, everything. But always we make a huge cake for the CG or whoever, like on the regimental, to come and cut that cake.
Yes.
So it's like part of our culture as 92 Golf.
Yes.
So last year, I talked to a few of the cooks on the West Fort Hood DFAC, and they were talking to me about how many hours they had stayed up or how many hours it took them to make all of the decorations and all of the cakes. So tell me about how long it takes to set up these elaborate displays.
So as of right now, I have my soldiers starting 2 months ago, but to put all together, I just I put a run apart just for them to lay out everything and I think just visual, hey, where this going? That way, but it's take maybe almost all the 23rd. We start on the 24th, but we start going to be on the 23rd by 5 o'clock p.m. all the way to the next day. So, but that day we work all day.
Wow. Yeah.
And what's ironic about that is what she just mentioned, how they start early on these different displays. But almost everything that we put out there display-wise, except for cornucopia, is edible. It's our edible food. So it's wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so you can also eat it. Yeah.
So Chief, I know you've been working in the 92 Golf series for a very long time. I just want to know, has there ever been a crazy mishap with like a huge cake falling over? I know there's got to be a lot of drama back there in the kitchens.
Well, it's ironic you said that because I've been in 30 years. So when you said 92 Golf, actually I was a 94 Bravo back in the day, which is the same thing as a culinary. Well, we call it culinary specialist now. So we have
so it changed.
It changed. Wow. It changed from cook to now it's changed to culinary specialist. Now we have our own title, which is great. Just like dining facilities themselves, how they actually evolved over the time, going from mess halls to dining facilities. Actually, they're called warrior restaurants now. So we want to make sure that we start using that term, warrior restaurants. Yes, that's what they're called now. So, yep.
They're always the TMs and
of course,
always changing.
Of course, yeah. It's always, which is great. It's great that it changes like that because we got to change with the times, which is wonderful. But would you ask if have been any mishaps? Well, during 30 Thanksgivings, when I think about being in 30 years, there's been a number of times where, calamities happen as far as a huge cake falling or dropping or breaking in half, and we got to try to figure out how to put this cake back together again. But at the end of the day, we're culinary specialists, chefs, so we can always figure it out and make sure that the cake is not only presented properly, but it's also edible as well. So I've seen a lot of those things in 30 years, but I have some wonderful Thanksgivings being deployed as well, and also being back in the States. So it's been wonderful. It's been really, really great.
Yeah. I know a lot of soldiers that have never deployed may not know that the Thanksgiving events on Fort Hood, and just post wide, they still go all out even when you're deployed, and it's just a really special, amazing thing when you feel like part of home is with you overseas. And like I give just such huge props and shout outs to the cooks because they always just make it so special and amazing and just really heartwarming for all the troops with morale and doing all that.
Yeah, they do a wonderful job, but we don't call them cooks anymore. We call them culinary specialists. Just to make sure we call culinary specialists. Okay?
That's correct.
Yeah, we want to make sure we're politically correct. Yeah, but you're right. Even in deployed environments, we do the same thing as far as making sure that we get a taste of home.
Yes.
Even when you're going in Afghanistan, Iraq, our soldiers are all over the world, to be honest with you, doing wonderful missions, difficult missions, as you know. But we want to make sure that we do our part as far as serving them and make sure that, guess what, that they get a part of home with Thanksgiving. And so actually everything that they'll see in the dining facilities here, we actually make sure we provide those over in Iraq and Afghanistan as well. So our soldiers not missing anything. When they get over there, we make sure they get the same thing, a taste of home when we're back.
That's wonderful.
So, Sergeant Simmons, do you want to talk about specifically what the 3rd Cavalry Regiment's Warrior Restaurant is doing? So, like, what is your traditional Thanksgiving theme? And any shout outs you want to give to your culinary specialists?
It's like Chief Sanders say, we have a traditional. I cannot put anything in there because we going hard this time.
Don't want to give the secrets.
Yeah. Yes. So if I give you a secret, somebody's going to hear it. Really do it too. So yeah, I'm going to give a big shout out to every soldier that I have in the DFAB, because from the PV2 all the way to the E7s, they do their job. Each person have the task. So that task, they got to be complete up to standard. And I know that they just make sure you guys going over there because you will see what we got.
Yeah.
I want to go travel and see these different defects now.
I know. Just like hit all the stops.
Yes.
Get all the plates.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Hopping.
I'm so happy that you said that, because I talked about it right now, because Sergeant Simmons want to give a shout out to 3CR, our Theodore Roosevelt dining facility. But I want to give a shout out to all the dining facilities on post that's going to be participating. Matter of fact, also, we're going to have a Thanksgiving Day competition, a judging competition as well this year. It's every year, but I want to make sure that I also bring that out as a highlight for all the dining facilities, the dining facility managers. So what we're going to do this year is called the CG's Best Mess Thanksgiving Competition. And so what's going to take place this year, we're going to actually go over and do some evaluations over at North Fort Hood, West Fort Hood, all the defects here on the main post, which is always ready on West Fort Hood. But we're going to do defect evacuations for a 3rd CR, which is Theodore Roosevelt, 69ADA, Patriot Dining Facility. We'll also be doing our Iron Horse Dining Facility as well, which is falls under 1st Cav Division. And we'll also be doing an evaluation on one other defect. I'm missing one. OIR, Operation Iraqi Freedom Dining Facility as well. So we'll be doing competitions over there as well, judging on all dining facilities. And part of the criteria that we're judging for this year is going to be theme and decor. We're looking for the centerpiece, handmade ice carvings.
Ooh, ice carvings.
Oh, ice carvings. Yes. Yes. Matter of fact, so I know we got a couple of guys gonna be using chainsaws this year to actually make ice carvings. Yeah, that's how we normally do it.
Yes.
We do have ice molds as well. That's the easy way to go. But to try to keep up our culinary subject matter expert skills, we have kits that we provide for soldiers so they can actually start working on ice sculptures and ice carvings and things like that too, just to try to hone their skills and try to keep up some of the old tradition as far as actually hands-on, as opposed to just taking a mold and putting water in it and freezing it. So we're really excited this year about it. But I want to just talk about the judging criteria just a little more if I can. Yes. So the judging going to be done by the command team that we've already selected by 3 corps leadership. So they'll actually be the ones actually judging and the criteria and things like that. They are providing coins to our military operating dining facilities. Wow. Also, they'll also be providing medallions, which is going to be the gold, silver, bronze medallions that we're going to put on displays as well. And also giving our coins as well to military operating dining facilities. Unfortunately, we won't be able to give out coins to the contracted facility over on North Fort Hood because of some other restrictions and things like that. But we'll also be providing some medallions for those displays as well. I want to make sure that we show our love to our contracted facilities as well. But it's gonna be really wonderful this year. But I want to just one other thing I want to just mention again. I want to just go back over it again. The following year will be judged with theme and decor, centerpiece, handmade ice carvings, and cake and bread displays. We took out the tasting this year because of COVID-19, and we don't want a lot of people around the food items.
Yes.
So we're going to try to take that out this year. But it's still going to be a wonderful opportunity for our teams and our leadership and for all the soldiers as well.
That's wonderful. It's nice to know that even with COVID and all that and the additional restrictions, that the show can still go on and the judging can still happen. And I know that's really motivational for troops,
I'm always super hyped up during the competition because I'm like, oh my gosh, who's going to win this time?
Wow.
You have all the sugar coursing through your veins.
Wow.
I'm excited and I can't wait to see it.
Yes. Well, we want to thank all the culinary specialists I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to make one more thing before, if you don't mind. Just want to make sure that I promote again the times that we're going to be serving our dining facility, just to make sure. So the 24th of November from 11 to 1500, that's going to be our main meal from 11 to 1500. Our traditional Thanksgiving meal at all of our dining facilities that day. Okay. Also, on the 26th, which is the actual Thanksgiving Day, all our defects will also be open. We also have a Facebook page that you guys can go to and find it as well. It's just all the information. So everything I just mentioned, we'll have that information will also be on our Facebook page. And so I also want to just mention the times it's going to be for our open dining facilities for the 26th, just in case somebody doesn't know. So for North Fort Hood Building 56320, they'll be serving breakfast from 05:30 to 8:30, lunch from 11:30 to 1300, and dinner from 1700 to 1930. All our military operated dining facilities, which is Operation Iraqi Freedom, Iron Horse DFAC, Theodore Roosevelt, and Always Ready, those 4 facilities will be open as well. And their serving hours will be from 9:30 to 1100, 11:30 to 1300 for lunch, and 1700 to 18:30 for the dinner meal. So just want to make sure that I put that information out so everybody be aware of it.
Yes, and we'll put that out too for
Really,
sure,
thank you.
so everybody can know.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you both for coming in and talking about the dining facilities for Thanksgiving and the awesome competition that's going to be happening. I am super excited. I can't wait to be seeing all the different decorations that's going up.
Yes.
Yes.
It'll be a great time.
Well, I just want to thank you all for having myself and Sergeant Simmons come over here and promote Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate the invitation. Thank you very much.
All right, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Social distancing slows the spread of coronavirus, so stay a minimum of 6 feet away from others and stay home if you can. More info at coronavirus.gov. Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Here he is, Jeff Snarkworthy.
Thank you, yeah. If you've got a sudden, unexpected fever, you might have coronavirus. If you've traveled from or through a state where coronavirus is prevalent, you might have coronavirus. If that fever of yours, if it's accompanied by a feeling of shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus is steadily spreading across not only the United States, but the world. Being aware of the signs and symptoms of coronavirus helps keep us all safe. If you suspect that you may have been infected with the virus, call 254-553-6612. That's the Fort Hood Health Hotline, 254-553-6612.
If you've been around some place where people were infected, if you got that fever, shortness of breath, and a cough, you might have coronavirus.
Coronavirus. It's no laughing matter.
Hello?
It's me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello to all my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast, your number one.
And welcome back. COVID sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been
How's
a
that
long
for a conversation starter? Huh?
Yeah. That's always a conversation starter.
Yeah.
So, Thanksgiving's going to be very different this year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What's bumming you out, Brianna?
Well, I'm really bummed that I can't go to my sister's house.
Yeah.
Because even if she was hosting it, she lives in Dallas.
Yeah.
And so right now we're not allowed to go to Dallas.
Yep.
So just, just seeing the numbers rising too is really a bummer.
Right. Yep.
It really is.
Yeah.
Be safe. Wear a mask. Social distance. No more than 10 people. All that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You were mentioning before we started this,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to miss the Macy's parade.
Yes, the Macy's Day Parade.
Yes.
So iconic.
I know for my husband, like I remember as a kid turning on the TV every
Yes.
year, people watching sports, watching the Macy's Days Parade.
Yes.
And I looked it up and it's canceled because of COVID.
Yes.
So now the people who traditionally watch the parade every year don't have anything to watch.
You think with technology, they come up with a way to do it virtual. You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Here's character-generated Macy's parade from New York.
Well, I remember didn't the horse cav went somewhere? They went to some flower festival. I'm
Right.
sure they're not doing that this year. Also,
I just remember the last time. No, that wasn't the last time. They do the Rose Bowl parade every year.
yes, that's where they went.
Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl.
That's not a flower fest. It's
Oh,
the
okay.
Rose Bowl.
Well, the all the floats with all the flowers.
Yeah, Pasadena.
Yeah.
Tournament of Roses parade.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still playing football this year? Do you know?
They are playing college football.
Dave
College
would know.
football?
Sounds like they're going to have bowl games, but they're doing it with television, and a lot of places don't have fans still.
Mm.
I know you guys aren't big football fans, but
No, but my husband still turns it on.
who's
for
his?
Thanksgiving.
Does he have a pro team that he likes?
So we go for the Patriots because we're from Maine,
Yeah, you think?
but we don't like religiously follow football. He follows hockey.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did he play?
Yes, my husband played for 14 years.
Wow.
That's awesome. My
Yeah.
fiance played hockey when he was younger too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So he can skate.
Yes, he can skate. We also have self healing ice boards at home, so he can still ice skate in Texas.
You know, when you grow up north, Wisconsin, if you're a good skater, you get to handle the puck. And if you're a lousy skater like I was, you get to fall down and be the goalie.
Were you a good goalie?
No, that's terrible.
Yeah. that would
was
scare
terrible.
me.
Yeah.
It comes at you so fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I was terrible at hockey.
Yeah. Were you dodging it, or were you still trying to at
No,
least
I
make
would
an
try.
effort?
It was
Oh,
just
okay,
I
that's
was
good.
really
I would
bad
not
on
try.
skates. I was just awful.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing.
No. So, ready for the holidays?
Yes,
Taking it 360. Back to the front of the show. Actually, we got to talk about your eyeliner and show.
The best part. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
Thank you for making it in, Brianna.
course.
I know you're tired.
I'm always tired. That's my
And
secret.
Let's talk about tired. You got a youngin' at home who's waking you up at how often?
I know. I think so. I think he's like going through some sort of regression. So, last night he was up at like maybe 1:45, and he was up for a while.
Oh my goodness.
I ended up telling my husband, I'm like, you need to get up because I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I need some sleep. So he's been getting up routinely now during the past few nights,
right
in the middle of the night, and then he doesn't even wait until 6:30 to wake up anymore. He's been waking up with me, and I have things to do.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck?
This too shall pass, right?
Yes, it'll pass.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me how children have no concept of time. Like, it's so funny. Like, they're literally on like a different, not literally, but it seems like they're on a different planet. Like,
Yeah. And then the time change totally ruined his schedule.
yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Yes.
1 hour?
That 1
Yeah.
hour. So fall behinds.
Fall back.
Fall back.
Yeah.
That ruined his schedule. I'm sure if it was spring forward, it would be fine. But the fall back.
Is it weirding you guys out? It gets dark so soon now.
Yes.
It's like it's 7 o'clock at night and it feels like it's 10 or 11.
Yes,
My
I don't
body's
like it.
telling me I'm dragging.
I know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
My kids don't like it either. They're usually out playing in the street.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My cat did not like it. She was so angry. I think she thought I was punishing her because she's like, "Why are you feeding me an hour later?" And I'm like, "I'm really not." But yeah, so she had a catitude for a couple days, but she's good now.
Ooh, you gotta remember that one. So this too shall pass, right?
Yes.
Like 2020.
Let's hope.
Yes.
And this show is over for now, isn't it? We got to say bye.
All right.
You
Hasta la
take it.
vista.
Baby.
Hasta la vista. I'll be back.
And we're out.
Driving down the road again. Tires start standing and cracks crumble to gravel lines. Just on the travel